Hey, good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California. This absolutely gorgeous Saturday morning. It is beautiful. I know we've had some rather windy weather. We had rain last night here in Surfside, at least in other areas. I'm just back from Ensenada, so I've got a lot of info from down that way, but we have got bluefin tuna in the news. For SoCal-based boats, there's at least 3 guys on them, and they are seeing a lot of fish and hooking a lot of fish, and there are some really big ones mixed in with it. The bluefin tuna season is here, and it certainly bodes well for our 5-day trip on the Independence from April 4th through the 9th. There's still room on that trip. We'll get you caught up on the local situation. Up there out of Ventura sport fishing, the boys are out and they're fishing hard today. Daniel on the Island Spirit and Cody on the California. We'll get some reports into you about all of that. And of course, we've got the El Patron headed to Catalina Island. We've got so much for you. You know what time it is. It's time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Oh, is that good? And man, is it good to be back with you. We had a delightful time in Ensenada. We ran all over the place, did all kinds of interviews. I interviewed a commercial fisherman in the Tequilas bar. Louis Prieto owns the Tequilas bar. And I met this gentleman there, Carson. You'll see that in just a little bit. You'll get a better look at Louis' boat. It's for reals sport fishing. Louis got a rig down in Ensenada that can get on this bluefin tuna, that can fish the yellows and the bottom stuff. It's really, really great. And Paulina Varela, she's great. She's co-hosting with me down there in Mexico and doing a fabulous job. And man, when she jumped on board a Ponga and started unloading rockfish, I looked at her and I said, whoa, she's the real deal. She really is a fisher person or fisherman or whatever you want to say. Really great stuff. And I'll be sending that all your way here shortly. Hey, don't forget, hit that like button, share these videos with a friend. Also, subscribe to the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel and tick that little bell. You'll be notified when there's new content. You can follow us on TikTok for a little bit longer, I guess, Instagram, Facebook, and of course Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We are there for you every single day. Make sure you check that out. Whoa, we got a lot to talk about. Let's start Mexico. I'm going to get you up to this bluefin tuna situation because it is volatile. It is coming together. And I got to tell you, we've got a guy on board, John Collis, a fantastic fisherman and one of the nicest guys you'd ever want to meet. I met him on our Independence trip last year, a 5-day trip, and he fishes hard, but more than anything, he is a delight to be around. The kind of guy that I'd like to travel with or spend 5 days on a boat with or 16 days on a boat with. I'll get his firsthand observations to you here in just a moment. First of all, Cabo San Lucas, we continue to catch striped marlin down in Cabo San Lucas. Really good stuff going on in that neck of the woods. A lot of stripers, a few dorado, some yellowfin tuna. The YFT bite can be 0 or it can be wide open. Depends upon if you find the right pod of dolphin and there's fish mixed with it. And also in terms of the grade of fish, 20 to 40 pounds up to over 100 pounds. So with a little bit of lady luck down there at Land's End, you can come up with a pretty good catch right now. No doubt about that. We take you up to San Quintin, and we've seen some really good yellowtail action on the yo-yo iron down there in that area. It has been biting really well, and there's been big lings and rockfish. It sounds good. In fact, Paulina and yours truly and several others are planning a trip down to San Quintin here in the future. She took off for Costa Rica. We sent our blessings with her. She's on her way to Costa Rica, my wife's home country right now. And then when she gets back, we'll plan that out and get down there and do some fishing. Start to move you up in Punta Colinet area. There's been some great rock fishing there and some yo-yo iron yellowtail. That's 120 miles below the border. Working up to that bluefin. Hang on, my friends. And then you get up there around, let's say, Santo Tomas, and there's some good yellowtail action there, 85 miles below the border. In fact, our friend Foca, you know what that means in Spanish? It means sea lion. He was swimming in the water once, pretty big guy, and a kid goes, oh my God, a Foca, a sea lion. And he liked the nickname so much, he likes it better than his proper name, Jose. So Foca had 3 more big yellows down in that Santo Tomas area, about 85 miles south of our border, about 19 miles south of Ensenada. Nice hit for them. Good fishing on the bottom stuff for the Ensenada-based boats, as you will see when Paulina unloads that panga. That is such great stuff. You'll enjoy that. You'll get to see the fish firsthand. And also, we continue to see some great calico bass fishing along Punta Banda, as well as just great rock fishing in general. So Ensenada, really good fishing. If I were you, I'd think about heading down there south of the border. Folks, just for one moment, I want to take a little bit of a break from the fishing and just mention to you, Tom Holland, Captain Tom Holland, let me know that Robbie Sanchez has passed away. Robbie was a part of the industry for absolutely decades. He was on the Qualifier 105 in the 1970s. He fished the North Pacific, the South Pacific. He was an expert albacore fisherman in the South Pacific, doing a lot of commercial fishermen. And Tommy said he had a voice much like my voice. He said when you heard him on the radio, it was so distinctive you knew it was Robbie Sanchez. So we just want to take a moment and send Robbie our thoughts and prayers. Keep him in mind. A lot of you knew him. A lot of you loved him. And also send his family and loved ones and friends like Tom Holland all of our very, very best. Which segues us into, you know, Robbie's interested in this. What's going on in San Diego with regard to the bluefin tuna? Let's talk about it right now. John Collis is on the Polaris Supreme right now. John's a great guy. He was keeping me up to date. Yesterday, he said 360-degree area of frothing, breaking, bluefin tuna all over them for hours. Huge amounts of fish that just didn't want to bite. Those devils were tempting everybody. I think they hooked two and lost them both because there's some big grade stuff mixed in here with it. But seeing the fish, locating some of that main vein that I told you, when we get more boat pressure out there, we're going to start to find more fish. And now we have at least 3 boats on it. We'll get more on it now that people can see that there's actually fish there. Now, as they went into sundown last night, John said, hey, we just had a hit, smaller grade, 15 to 20 pound bluefin tuna, like a dozen on the boat right now. His numbers may be a little bit off because, I mean, he's running around, he's trying to catch fish, he's trying to keep me up to date, but basically, like a dozen fish, smaller grade, 15 to 20 pounders. I love to see that big stuff and that small stuff. And then a dawn bite this morning, and the Tribute is on it out of San Diego. They are all over it, and as a matter of fact, they say that there are 18 anglers on board. They surmise that at least every single one of those guys has hooked one fish, but there's some big, powerful fish, 100+ pound bluefin tuna biting for the Tribute. Last time we checked with them, they had 8 on board, but they had several fish going. They were still in a bite. We'll follow up on that all day long and keep you up to date on exactly what they're doing. The Tribute. Now, the Polaris Supreme, I mean, John, his spelling was way off, and I'm confident that John knows how to spell. I mean, I could see him just typing as fast as he could to me. Phil, we're in a bite, a good one. And then that was it. So the last time I heard, Polaris Supreme sounded like they were in a good one, and he did manage to write BG fish. Big fish is what I got from that. So it sounds like this is really coming together in a big way. I'm super excited for our Independence trip. I mean, I've been thinking all along that this is exactly how it's going to play out. Boy, if I can only do that with my albacore prediction. I was thinking it was going to play out like this. We just need more boat pressure. And I based it on the Mexican commercial fleet getting their quota so quickly. And some information we got out of Mexico. I think it was Tim Marquez in a live show who asked Paulina any bluefin information. And let me tell you, she is plugged into the info. And I sat there at her mother's landing. She's got Juanito's Landing there on the Malecon in Ensenada, and there's just a steady flow of fishermen coming in and out of there, commercial guys, sport guys, the whole thing. And Paulina said, yeah, there's a good area of fish about 40 miles from Ensenada, 50 miles from Ensenada, so that sounds good. By the way, this is day and a half range from San Diego, so it is picture perfect, and there's some big ones. I mean, well up over 100 pounds. The Tribute, their fish seem to be all nice, big, fat ones. A lot of knife jig fish, some sinker rig fish. One guy snagged a fish mid-body, and it was a big one, and he fought the thing for 2 hours till they got it on board the Tribute. So we are liking what we are seeing right now. And because these are big ones, don't fish anything less than 100 pounds. Spec to 130 will work. You want to have jigs in the 200 to 300 gram range, but you want to have 400-gram jigs. Also, you want to have the heavy stuff just in case you run into some weather. Now, their weather out there, big old swell, no wind on it, and we're not going to have any wind for the rest of the weekend. It's going to be absolutely perfect. That swell should come down significantly. Also, we'll see if that helps them. Now, that daytime fish, just teasing right now, but hopefully it will settle down and start to bite. We've got 2 great trips for you tomorrow, and I hope you can make one or both of them. Well, I guess you can't make both, but if you can jump on the El Patron, they've got a St. Patrick's Day trip out of Long Beach, sport fishing, headed back to Catalina Island, limited to 20 people, $135. Call Long Beach Sport Fishing at 310-432-8993. And then the Island Spirit is going again out of Ventura, focusing on whitefish, sheepshead, and halibut, and looking for the elusive white sea bass. Haven't been any big catches, but they still give it a good, hard look, and they've been doing great. Daniel's out right now. You will enjoy fishing on the Island Spirit. I am telling you that right now. And if you call the landing and talk to Sal here today, he's a super great guy. Mention pre-season 20. This is before April the 1st. He'll knock 20% off your bill, and kids fish free on St. Patrick's Day. Every Sunday, for that matter, 12 and under. With a paid adult, you go for free. Call Ventura Sport Fishing, 805-676-3474, and get on the Island Spirit and the California. You're going to have a really great time. Remember that 20% off for the rest of the year if you book your trips before April the 1st. You can call, or you can visit VenturaSportFishing.com. All right, we are watching, of course, everything else in SoCal. Now, we're dealing with some weather. That has been a problem here. A lot of wind the other day, and conditions deteriorated, making things a little bit more difficult. Just in general, I will tell you that it was mostly sculpin and whitefish, and nothing really crazy in terms of a big halibut score or anything else that I could scare. Monte Carlo, 22nd Street Landing, San Pedro, they had limits of whitefish. There's some guys going home with some great fish taco meat there, if you ask me. The Native Son, of course, on their halibut trip, and they've had an incredible season in their halibut competition this year. They had 2 halibut, released another 7 halibut. The Pride out of 22nd Street Landing. They've become the halibut capital of Southern California overnight there at 22nd Street. They had a recent trip a couple weeks ago where they had limits of halibut. On this trip, they had 8 fish, 20 sheepshead, 3 calico bass, 16 whitefish, released another 18 halibut. So again, they are kind of picking at them, and I surmise that our conditions have been off just because of all that wind. Now, conditions are starting to come back together now, as it's absolutely lovely and there is no wind at all. So hopefully that's going to happen. We continue to see similar scores up there out of Redondo and Marina del Rey, picking away at the sculpin and the whitefish, and also a few wintertime bass, a few sand bass and calico bass, but that has not been as good as it has. You know, I'm segueing into the surf fishing by right now, and a surf fishing guy is going by. Why don't I ask him? Do you mind if I do? Hey, excuse me. You catch anything?
Yeah,
Hey, do you want to come over here and be on camera for a second?
Sure.
Thank you. What's your name?
Frank.
Frank?
Yeah.
Good to see you, man. Pop in here.
What's going on?
What's happening? How are you?
Good.
All right, look right in there and come on over here a little bit.
What's going
Perfect. So what'd you catch? What's up? What's up in the surf here?
I was over by the rocks over there. I'm starting to see calicos come in.
Oh, nice.
So I've usually like sand bass and stuff, but calicos. And then when I was walking here this morning,
Yeah.
hooked up on a perch.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I got I love these the North Coast ones. I got
That works good for you?
Yeah, they're like perfect like for halibut and bass and everything. Like,
Yeah.
I like the 9.6 one because I could kind of get over the rocks like good when I'm right there. And then this one is just like kind of a go-to. I just use the Back Bay saltless.
Very cool.
Yeah, they're totally cool.
Appreciate it, Frank.
Heck yeah, man.
You take care, man.
You too.
Catch a halibut on the way down there.
Dude, I know. I'm not just happy.
All right, that was Frank. Everybody stopping in to let us know. Let me get you caught up on the surf fishing bite a little bit more. Also, there's been good part perch fishing south of the border and all the way up our coast. That is continuing. Don't forget a big fish bait and tackle in the beautiful city of Seal Beach, California, right there on the corner of Seal Beach Boulevard and Pacific Coast Highway. They've got a tournament going on, and it's almost time to award the winner. March the 1st until April the 1st, they're giving away a custom rod for the biggest barred perch. Go down to Big Fish, buy the ruler that they have, measure your fish on the beach, put the date inscribed in the sand behind it, and then upload that photo to the Big Fish Bait and Tackle Instagram page, and you're in the contest. That's all it takes. There's no money involved, and it's a gorgeous custom rod. And folks, they're giving away a custom rod every single month of 2024. You got to stay in touch with us here. For example, I'll tell you every single month. Next month they may change species. It may be Corbina, it might be a halibut, it might be a spot fin croaker, it might be a bar perch again. We'll keep you in touch with all of that. There's been a few Corbina around here. There's also been some good halibut fishing as we've just come off a grunion run. All of that is definitely in the picture for you all. Fishing bait, perhaps a better way to get a bite in the wintertime. I would go with bait, and picking up some worms at Big Fish is a good idea. Ghost shrimp works super really well on these fish, and we need to do another surf fishing event here really, really soon. No question about that. Lobster hoop netting remains great. It was really too windy the other night to get anything accomplished, but as we have told you for many times in the past, and the guys at PromarAhi.com will tell you, you can get some great lobster hoop netting tutorials, and the season's almost over. But they will tell you that after you get a storm, the lobster just have a penchant, a tendency to want to crawl, to come out of their rocks and jump into your little hoop net. So this should be a great night tonight. That would be my guess. So that should be really, really good. Don't forget, it's tax season, and there's no one better than Tim Marquez at A Best Income Tax. Give Tim a call today, whether it's past taxes or you're just trying to wrap up this year's taxes. Tim is your man. And also for your heating and air conditioning needs, you're definitely going to want to check our friend John Lopez. John is a fantastic guy, great family man, and he will take care of all of your heating and air conditioning needs. And efficient heating and air conditioning, give John a call right now. Don't miss our 5-day trip. It is looking so good right now. Couldn't look any better. Yellows pushing up the Baja Coast, and huge areas of bluefin not biting full speed yet, but we've got a little while till April 4th departure when we leave at 10 a.m. And we'll be right on top of that BFT on our very first night. 5-day trip, April 4th through the 9th. Independence. I'll be there shooting video of you. We're going to have a great time. There's a whole bunch of great people on that trip. IndependenceSportFishing.com, or call Paulina right now this morning. All right, my friends, wishing you a wonderful day. It's gorgeous. I should be out here surf fishing, shouldn't I? Who knows? I'll check the tides. I think it's around a noontime high tide, if I have that right. Great times in Ensenada. Look for a lot of content to come out of their boats to fish on. A tackle store that has absolutely everything you want. You ever go across the border and say to yourself, man, I forgot this rod or this reel or this jig or these hooks? No problem anymore. Fish Co. in Ensenada. I'll have a video and we'll take a tour of the entire tackle store this weekend as soon as I cut it up and put a little voiceover and titles to it. Hey, in the meantime, I'm wishing you an absolutely wonderful day. I should mention the Royal Polaris is starting to fish now. They're on an 18-day trip. The Red Rooster 3 on their most recent long-range trip had good fishing on big grade yellowfin tuna, some wahoo along with it, and a variety of other species, as I almost forgot to give you the long-range report. Stay tuned for a lot more content today. We'll keep you up on that bluefin bite. We will also be checking on our Ventura guys in the El Patron. We'll let you know, and maybe even go live to those guys to keep you in touch with all the latest. As always, it's a pleasure to spend time with you, and I deeply appreciate all you do for Friedman Adventures. You guys have made us grow so fast and so high. I owe so much to you. Keep Robbie Sanchez in your thoughts and prayers today. Maybe St. Patrick will bless him and his family with a special blessing. Take care, and I hope to see you really, really soon.